going to take my super popular pancake cake, no, long day, pumpkin cake recipe and make them into mini muffins. I was trying to think of a clever way I was going to add the chocolate, and I forgot to think about that before I turned the camera on, so, well, we'll get to that later. Same recipe as before, most of you know it, but I've already got things out here. Yikes. So the dry ingredients for the pumpkin cake are a little less than a cup of whole wheat flour, a little less than a half a cup of soy flour, 1/3 of a cup wheat flakes, baking powder, a very generous teaspoon of baking powder, regular teaspoon, and that's it for the dry ingredients, aside from the spices. So stir these up good. Sometimes the soy flour is lumpy, and you can use different flours, but not white flour, because then they won't be a hard, healthy muffin. I just noticed too, I made zucchini muffins earlier, and 3 of my zucchini muffins, the mini muffins, are the same size as any of those little cupcakes or muffins in 100-calorie packs, except mine have less calories, so that's pretty cool. Same size. Just cutting out some things maybe that they don't cut out. Alright, so those are the dry ingredients. And then in your mixing bowl, it was, from the recipe before, a half a cup of pumpkin. I just, half a cup thing was full of something else. 1/4 cup of milk, 1/8 of a cup of egg beaters, about a 1/4 cup of Splenda. You don't need applesauce for this because you have pumpkin. The spices are cloves, about a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. And you mix all these things together with about a cup of water. I put too much water in my zucchini muffins. They came out all right, but they stuck to the sides a little bit, and I think it was because they were too wet. So be mindful of that when you're mixing your batter. Don't let it be too runny. So this is 3/4 cup of water so far there. Whisk. Whisk anybody? Okay, I washed it. And then, whisk! Whisk the pumpkin, egg, Splenda, milk, spices together, and then alternate your dry ingredients and your water. And the oven is heated to 350, and I'm going to cook these mini muffins for 30 minutes. When my batter is right, I'm going to spoon them into at least 24 mini muffins, if not more. I'll just have to see. So I'll have to tell you when I turn the camera back on. So I'll be doing that off camera. I hope I'm not off camera right this minute. So I might use more than 3/4 cup of water. I still have a little batter left. And I'm spraying them with the non-fat butter-flavored spray. Your bargain brand at the store is just fine. You don't have to pay an extra $1 for it to say Pam or some other company. Okay, that's too thick, so it's probably going to be a cup of water. Got a 1/4 cup more here. Let's see if these all. I like to switch hands. I'm right-handed, but I think if I do some things with my left hand, that will trick my brain into having to work harder, and then maybe I won't get Alzheimer's. I'm always thinking about healthy eating. Okay, so about a cup of water is what I ended up with. try your left hand brushing your teeth and doing the crossword puzzle also. You know, I read it somewhere, so it must be true. I believe they call it neurotics. You know, NEU, like neurology. Or it might be NUE, I don't know. No, it's NEU. I have, apparently it's not making me any smarter doing all these things with my left hand. I have to write it down to know which is the right way. So use an 1/8 of a cup measure, and don't make it a heaping 1/8 of a cup. It needs to be just at an 1/8, because if you overfill these, then they'll overflow and stick, definitely stick. So this is much thicker than my zucchini batter was, and I may end up with just 24 muffins, and they'll probably have about 20 calories each, with wonderful vitamins from the pumpkin, and of course it's a good source of fiber with the whole wheat flour, the soy flour, and the wheat flakes. Alright, I'm going to fill these up. I'm making a horrible mess. You know, if you do that, cause burning. I'm going to cook them for 30 minutes at 350, and I'll show you the finished mini muffin. Sorry about that. I put them in the oven and then I remembered the chocolate. So I ended up with 29 of them, and I have the chocolate syrup. Now usually when we make the pumpkin cake, we drizzle a little bit of this Walden Farms calorie-free chocolate syrup. So I think the best way to do it is to pour some syrup in some little tin that you have. That one had cinnamon in it. And then take a teaspoon and just drizzle a little drop on each one. You try to make it fancy, or you can just, I think it's going to soak in a little bit while it's cooking. And just a drop, whoops, is good. You don't want to go adding a bunch of calories. And the way these are turning out, they're going to have about 20 calories each. Okay, so I'm going to put them back in the oven in a second and bake them. Okay, I am so over this cooking and ready to have a whiskey sour. Just one. The pumpkin muffins are done. I took them out of the oven like 3 minutes ago, and I don't know if they're going to come out of the muffin tins any easier than the zucchini muffins did, which was not easy. I had to use a butter knife to pry them loose. But because this was a little thicker, I'm hoping the batter was a little thicker. Well, one came out, 2, 3, so they're going to come out a little easier. Aren't they cute? So 5 of them would be 100 calories. So you get 2 more than you would if you bought some of those 100-calorie mini muffin or cupcake packages, because they only have 3. So there you go. This is the same pumpkin cake recipe. I didn't change a thing, except that I put it in mini muffin tins and baked it at 350 for 30 minutes. No more. And I put the chocolate on top, just like I do on the cake. So, there you go. Little Susie homemaker baking for you. Or should it be Betty Crocker? Whatever.